are you like Steve and Brian?
You mean good looking and incredibly charismatic?
I'm sure that's what he meant.
That's exactly what I meant. I'm sure you are. Or are you always thinking about what animals you want to add to your hobby farm next?
Yeah, we do that too, I guess.
Well, today I'm going to ask these guys about the animals they don't want on their farms. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. So guys, before we discuss the animals you don't want, I saw this comment from a viewer and I just have to address it.
Okay.
So Pauline and Rush, UK 8923, they wrote, "Hey guys, just so you know, I don't have any chickens. However, about a year ago, I saw a video with a fellow and his chicken who claims that they have a special ability to hold their head steady and in focus while in a scenario of bouncing movement, such as in a speedboat. So with a tiny camera strapped to his little head, he proved that high-end movie equipment cannot produce steady focused images as well as this beloved chicken. Do you guys have any idea what I'm talking about? Cheers from Alberta, Canada. Hey.
Cheers. So I saw this comment as well, and so I looked it up. I didn't find, I don't think, what he's talking about where he talks about proving that it was better than movie equipment, but I did find a video that showed a chicken with a camera on its head on a speedboat. It was actually an advertisement for some company. I think it was LG or something like that. Here's a little clip from that.
This physiologically fascinating and visually hilarious feature is only recently being mined by advertisers. LG took chicken heads to a whole new level with a fake product, the chicken head mounted Gallus Cam, to get stable video of everything from rock concerts to extreme sports.
She used to be a little bit afraid of heights, but not anymore.
Yeah. So chickens do have an uncanny ability, and I've seen this before.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are looking at on the internet, but my Facebook feed's full of chickens doing that kind of stuff. Because once you click on one video, you're going to see them all.
Oh yeah.
Right? So I've seen it before. It is cool. It's one of those things, just neat things about chickens. So.
Yeah, I'm not, again, sure exactly which video he saw because there's a number of them out there, but we put a link to the one we just played a clip from in the description below.
So I'm going to say that was an awesome comment. Thank you so much. Keep them coming. We like questions. We like even the fun comments like that. So appreciate you taking the time to do that. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I liked it. All right. So now let's get to our discussion about unwanted animals on our farms. Now, Brian, we've been seeing some duck pond progress videos. So we know you want the ducks. Steve wants some geese.
Yep.
But we all want to know, and I'm sure everyone out there in YouTube land wants to know, which animals you don't want. So maybe you've had a bad experience with them before, or maybe just think of something that you don't want. We'll let you discuss it.
Okay.
So I asked each of these guys to come up with 3, and maybe they'll come up with more animals that they don't want on their farm.
Right.
So Steve, how about you start?
So I did come up with 3, and just to be straightforward up front, I've owned all 3 of these animals before.
Yeah.
But I will not own them ever again. And I'm going to start the list with my favorite, right? Guinea fowl. I fell for the whole, went in to buy chicks. It's like, what are these? Oh, those are guinea geese. They're so cute. They're going to, they're going to weed your garden and not tear it up like chickens will. And they're going to work like watchdogs and let you know when someone comes up the driveway. Yeah. The guinea, and they're unique looking. Right.
They're good-looking birds, I think.
I wouldn't say good-looking.
I'd
stick with unique.
They're different.
They have great personalities.
They're interesting.
Right? They're interesting.
Are they charming?
No, they're dumb. These are the guineas that I had made chickens and turkeys look like geniuses. These were the dumbest animals I have ever owned out of all my animals. And I'm being probably overly dramatic. The noise. Just the noise. I can't do. I struggle with the rooster. I don't like a lot of noise. Guineas never shut up.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you that. They're cool. They lay eggs. They're cool looking. They're great for ticks, right? But I don't want them. No, thank you.
All right, that's fair.
Again. I had them for a number of years.
Well, I think, unlike Steve, my list of animals I never want to own are three animals I'd never have owned. And the reason I've never owned them is because I've never wanted them, because I've learned lessons from people like Steve. Now, you said you didn't want guineas because, in large part, the noise. Yeah. Well, that's a big part of why I chose peafowl as an animal that I'll never have on my farm. So the noise, I mean, they're beautiful birds. I mean, you can't deny it. The sight of a male peacock strutting around, trying to attract a mate, you can't beat it. I would love to be able to see that on my farm.
You can't go down to the zoo or whatever.
But I don't want to deal with the noise, and I don't want to deal with the mess that they make.
Say, the noise isn't the worst part about people.
So I know some folks, and Steve knows them as well, who have peafowl all over their place, on the roof of their house, in the trees around their house, on my car when I go to visit, and they're pooping everywhere, and they're just destructive, messy, loud, and it really kind of goes, not just peafowl, really any exotic birds, what I call exotic birds. I'm not going to have pheasants. I'm not going to have swans or anything like that. Because the last reason is they're not productive in really any way. They're ornamental, and I don't want them.
Cassowary.
What's that?
Cassowary. Those dinosaur birds that lay the green eggs.
Yeah, no.
So, honey, if you're watching this video, we might want to rethink our Christmas ideas for Brian. All right, Steve, awesome. Back to you.
Number 2 on my list is kind of broad.
All right.
Any dairy animal. Not in... And
cats?
There's nothing against... I hear you can milk them. Nothing against goats or sheep or cows or whatever you want to milk, right? I'm too lazy. I don't want to do that.
I've known him for a long time. He's telling the truth.
I did have dairy goats. That was the first animal we got when we moved up to the farm. We brought home a couple of purebred Nubian does. They were sisters, and that was a rough introduction to hobby farming. But those are stories for another time. But yeah, I've done it, right. I milked a goat. Check. I can check that box off on my list of things I've done. I don't ever need to do it again. Some people really like it, that's their thing, and that's totally okay. Like, I love the idea of cheese,
yeah,
but I don't love the idea of waking up and going and milking a goat or whatever. I'll just buy that. So I'm not interested in having a dairy animal. Not that there's anything wrong with any of these animals. They're all fantastic animals. I just don't want to have the hassle of being tied to being responsible to milk this animal, once or twice a day for however many weeks or months that she's lactating.
Yeah.
No thanks.
So, unlike Steve, I'm not as opposed to the idea of dairy animals, but it's not something that's going to happen until I'm retired. And I have somebody reliable who can come and take care of these dairy animals and milk them when I'm not around. Because I like to go on vacation. It's what I look forward to all year.
The dairy animal.
And it's hard to do, yeah. The next animal that I chose is, I'm probably going to anger some people, because people who have these animals absolutely love them. And that's horses.
Yeah.
I agree that horses are stunning animals. They're beautiful. I don't ride. I own a tractor, so I don't need horses for work. They're big money pits.
Don't you have piles of money you need to get rid of? You can throw in a horse.
I might as well just bail up dollar bills and feed them that. They're expensive to own and care for. And they take a lot of work to care for them. And if I'm not getting any pleasure out of it, if I'm not getting, if I don't enjoy riding or, anything like that, why have a horse? It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm probably never going to have any horses on my place.
Yeah, I have a coworker friend who had who'd gotten motorcycles for his sons. Well, his daughters are now getting high school age, and they wanted a horse.
So that's fair. It's the same thing, right?
So it's the same. Yeah. So I've heard about having to buy trailers, having to go to the vet, having to build a corral, having to build a barn. It is definitely not a cheap hobby if you're going to get into horses. So
No, not at
you
all.
better love them.
Yep.
But it would be fun to have, just not to pay for them.
Plus, I have friends who have
was gonna
horses
say,
that are just a couple
If
miles
you live where
away.
we live, you've got a number of friends, and they have horses. And
If I really wanted
they
to ride,
usually can't ride them enough that they're more than happy to have
Right.
you come and help them, ride those horses to keep them broke. So,
Yep.
All right. Back to you.
all right, my number 3 is definitely going to offend some people.
Yeah.
You were worried about horses. We're kind of a chicken channel, but the number 3 animal that I'm going to say I don't want is bantam chickens. Again,
I get it.
beautiful birds.
Yeah.
Lots of variety, lots of great positives about bantams. For me, I have 10 acres. I have 2 coops, huge runs. Space is not an issue for me. So I don't want a little tiny chicken with a little tiny egg. Bigger the better.
Yeah.
Give me the big ones. And again, I get that there's some really beautiful bantams. There's some beautiful regular sized birds too. They're harder, with the cold weather and with the predators. There's extra challenges I don't. For me, no thanks. I'm good with regular chickens, so I'm going to say bantam chickens is one I'm not going to own. Now, if someone came and was like, "Hey, I'm getting out of chickens and take my flock or whatever," and they had some, sure, live out your days or whatever. But I'm never going to go buy bantams.
Yeah.
There you have
I
it. If
get it.
anyone wants to dump off their chickens,
Yeah.
you know where to take
Roosters, bunch of bantam roosters. That'd be great.
I think you've been down that road before. Well, the last animal that I'll probably never own is quail. And this is one of those that I'm not really opposed to them at all. I mean, there's nothing about them I don't like other than there's a lot of other things I'd rather own too. If I'm going to have poultry or if I'm going to have birds, I'm going to have chickens or ducks or turkeys. I don't need to add quail to the list. My family, they're not going to eat the quail eggs. They're probably not going to eat the quail either. I would. But I'm not going to raise them just for an occasional meal by myself. So I like quail. Love the idea of quail. Just probably never going to do it.
There you go.
All right. Pretty interesting list. Hopefully you didn't offend most of our viewers out there. No, I'm just kidding. But
So Eric, I have a question for you.
Yep.
the answer is no.
You get to ask us questions all the time. $100,000 you get paid to choose one of those to keep for a year. Which one are you going to go with for a year?
Ooh, I am going to go with... I would actually go with a cow, so then I could eat it.
No, it's not on the list.
It's not on the list.
Well, you can kill a dairy cow, right?
Oh, I guess so.
Okay, I don't want to milk a cow. I'm going to go with a bantam.
Okay. I was
I
gonna
guess put it in a cage, but
Quail's the easy out here, but Bantam works out pretty easy. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay.
if I didn't have to pay for it, the most fun would be a horse. But
Yeah, if you didn't have to pay for
if
it.
you guys will pay for it, I guess you give me $100,000 plus you have to pay for everything else. So I want $100,000 clear. All right. Well, I have an idea. I think it would be awesome if what we did is make a video where Steve keeps dairy goats for a year and Brian starts a flock of peafowl for a year. What do you think?
I think you're nuts. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, if Steve gets dairy goats and is milking them
Yeah.
for a year,
Don't worry about continuing because it's not going to happen.
I'll get the peafowl.
Oh, that's almost tempting. Peafowl and a horse.
I mean, it's for the video.
And a horse.
No horses.
I want to
sorry.
see you riding a horse
with a peacock on the back.
on your shoulder. Yeah.
No.
I'd actually watch that video.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
I think we should do it. Let's work on that. We'll work on that.
We'll work on that. We'll see.
We'll start a GoFundMe. All right. Well, what does everyone think of their lists? You agree? Do you disagree? Do you have some animals that you would put on the list that they didn't? Let us know by leaving a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any other questions, drop them in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We love each and every one of you. We appreciate it. And also, if you can like the video, that'd be great.
Yep.
And don't forget,
Happy farming, everybody.